I get asked all the time, Jim, do I have a good business or not? Well, it's a complicated question, but it's one that you should really understand because for you and for a potential investor or buyer of your company, they're going to be looking at, do you have a good business? So there are 9 elements that I tend to look at when I'm thinking about, is it a good business? The first one is, do you sell into a large market? In other words, if you're in a little teeny niche market, your ability to grow the business to the next level really isn't there. So a large market is important. Is the market growing? That's important as well. If you could tell me that you're the #1 provider of buggy whips, but that's a shrinking market. That's not where you want to be. You want to be in a growth market. And you'll get a benefit of growth just by being in a market that is increasing over time. The third item is, what's your share in your existing market? Now, this has got a little gamesmanship in it, frankly, but if you define your market in a way that you have relatively low share, you've got a lot of expansion capability. You don't want to walk around saying, I've got 95% of my market, because the next question is, then how do you grow? The fourth item is, what is your core value proposition? In other words, you have to be incredibly clear about, why do people buy from you? If you can't answer that question, why do people buy from you, then you aren't going to be able to deliver it, you're not going to be able to market to it, and you're not going to know who to sell to. So you have to be crystal clear on your core value proposition. The fifth item is recurring revenue. I've said before, if I had to pick a single item about what makes a business good business or a bad business, it's what percentage of your revenue recurs every year. You want to arrive on January 1st and have 95% of last year's revenue, or maybe more than that, already identified, and you know where it's coming from, and you're going to grow off of that base. So recurring revenue is incredibly important. In order to have recurring revenue and make it work, it's retention. Retention is, how well do customers stay with me? We dealt with one company recently that had a software as a service business and did a great job of acquiring companies, but his retention rate was about 63%. And that meant, while theoretically he had recurring revenue, because he lost his customers so fast, he really didn't have a great recurring revenue business. And so he spent a lot of time fixing retention to turn it into a better business. Gross margin is another one that's important. You need a high gross margin because gross margin allows you to fund a quality business and continue growing. And of course, profit is important as well. You don't want to have a big gross margin and spend it all on various items and end up with no profit at the end of the year. Now, you can always make a strategic decision to reinvest your profit into growth, but you need to have a profit to do that from. Even really good nonprofits realize they have to show a profit. They call it a surplus, but they have to show a profit in order to become sustainable. And the final thing is capital intensity. If you've got a business that requires a lot of capital, that's a difficult business to grow because you're always plowing money into inventory or equipment or buildings, whatever your particular capital model is. You want to have a business that's low capital intensity. In other words, every dollar of revenue doesn't require a lot of capital to fund. So think about your business and those 9 questions. Is your business good, medium, or maybe needs a little bit of work?